What is up, YouTube? It's your boy ChasmRift here, and today we got ourselves a guide on EV optimization. So maybe you're someone who wants to take their game to the next level. Maybe someone came from singles to doubles, or maybe someone who's seen team reports and you're like, what the hell? Why did they make the spreads the way they did? Well, this guide is for you. I'm trying to explain EV optimization as best as I can because I tried this multiple times. But I'm going to show you guys 3 examples that I use and try to break down why I use them, what the thought process is, and yeah, what's the theory behind it all. So, EV optimization. Basically, the idea is you get 508 to size 510, don't ask me why, EVs for your Pokemon. And the idea is you want to get as many miles as you can out of them. So, yeah, it's pretty pivotal to a lot of success for Pokemon. Instead of just the 252, 252, 4, sometimes you can actually reallocate some of the EVs to provide yourself a little bit more flexibility and leverage in a meta that's so all over the place like VGC. So the first Pokemon we're going to use to explain this right now will be Whimsicott. So Whimsicott, the moveset is whatever, you know. We got Mental Herb as our item. We'll explain why. And this is my Whimsicott. Come over here to the damage calc, 172 HP, 148 defense, bold nature. Okay, that's the first part we're going to go over. The reason I ran this is to deal with Talonflame that has adamant nature, sharp beak, and max attack. So the idea was that in Series 5, when Talonflame got reintroduced into the meta through the Isle of Armor, a lot of people were using Talonflame because it has Gale Wings, meaning that it could provide Tailwind support without, being a prankster Pokemon, and it has priority, things like Brave Bird, Dual Wing Beat, etc. So I made this Whimsicott to deal with that. This Whimsicott can survive a Dual Wing Beat and take about 76 to 91% damage. That's pretty good. Dual Wing Beat gets a lot of usage. It has more usage now because of Amoonguss getting a lot more popularity with Pokemon being banned, as well as Dual Wing Beat eats up a Cobra Berry, and then the second hit does the max amount of damage without the reduction. So at the time when I made this Whimsicott, I was worried about Talonflame going for Dual Wing Beat, breaking my sash and all that. So with this spread, I'm able to live the hit, and I don't need a Focus Sash anymore. That's where we come with the Mental Herb. The Mental Herb is in place for me to just deal with other matchups outside of a Talonflame or a Dragapult or something like that. With the Mental Herb, I'm able to shake off a taunt. So let's say I lead Whimsicott and Braviary, and the opponent leads Whimsicott Charizard. Well, if their Whimsicott decides to taunt me, I'm able to shake off the taunt and then use either my own taunt or maybe a Tailwind and then taunt the following turn. It gives me a lot of flexibility. Basically, it means my Whimsicott could free itself from being in a precarious situation versus other prankster or taunt users, and it's a pretty nice thing to have instead of just carrying around a Focus Sash for particular situations. The total speed is for me to actually outspeed a Duraludon that's modest max speed by 1 point. So Duraludon modest is 137 speed at max. We're able to outspeed it by 1 point, meaning that we're able to get some type of prankster support off before Duraludon tries to potentially delete us. Now for the 176 special attack, this is actually to deal with Dragapult. So our Whimsicott does 81 to 98% damage to a Dragapult, barring a crit. That means, if the Dragapult comes out there, we hit them and they don't Dynamax, we're doing anywhere about 90% damage to them. And if they Dynamax, we're doing close to 50% to them. With Whimsicott having, a typical partner Pokemon that's going to Dynamax, this is pretty good to have, or just something that has good strong spread damage, or maybe just single target moves. You can really take care of Dragapult with Whimsicott, a bulky Whimsicott. We're not guaranteed the OHKO because we're not 252 special attack, but we're able to do a lot of damage and make the job much easier for our partner Pokemon who may want to just pick up off of the Dragapult and get boost going. So there's a lot of flexibility I'm able to bring to the table with my Whimsicott, not just being, max special attack, max speed, or max speed, max HP. So yeah, that's the thought process I had going into it with my Whimsicott. So the next Pokemon we'll talk about is my Duraludon. This one's Life Orb, Draco Meteor, and Protect. And yeah, we're going over the spreads. So this one's 252, 114 the special attack, 142 Spadef. So this Duraludon, I built it this way because it could live a Helping Hand boosted max Wormwind from a Kingdra. Kingdra would do about 79 to about 94% damage to us, and on the other hand, with the spread that we have, we're doing about 99 to 118% damage to the Kingdra, meaning that if they go for a hit, with the most standard version of it, they're going to do about 5% of their health if they're Dynamax. Just chip off, meaning that if we go for our hit, we're pretty much guaranteed to OHKO just because of the chip damage they got from their Life Orb. So yeah, this gives me a lot of flexibility to deal with Kingdra. This is pretty pivotal in my eyes. I think it's really great because it means that with the Life Orb, I can carry Protect. Having Protect means that against other Pokemon that's not a Kingdra or something, I have options to just Protect. Maybe I don't want to take a Max Quake. Maybe I don't want to take a Fairy move. Maybe I don't want to deal with certain Pokemon. I can use Protect and have me some good defensive utility with a Duraludon, because most people are used to Duraludon running AV because it has infamously bad Spadef. But with the spread we gave it, we actually proved that it's pretty tanky on the Spadef side if you give it the right setup. This is, of course, compared to a Duraludon. Assault Vest, it can take the hit without any investment besides the match XP, but with the 252 special attack that it has, it's actually dishing out less punishment than ours. Our Duraludon said it would be doing anything between 99.6 to over 100% damage. This one right here, there's 86 to 102. That means there's a good chance you get a low roll, and if you get the absolute low roll, the Kingdra could potentially survive. So not only does the Kingdra survive, the Kingdra could possibly, if it's helping handed like we're bringing up in our hypothetical, it could two-shot you before you even get off a second hit. So that's just things to think about. Like I said, there are situations where, you know, you may want to run one or the other, but I kind of like it the way I got with my Duraludon. The next one right here is Braviary. This Braviary actually came from Graham Emidy's Players Cup Braviary. He said he ran max speed at 148 attack, and the 148 attacks to deal with an Incineroar. And from there, he had about 108 EVs that I don't know what he did with. So I decided originally I put him into defense to give me some physical bulk. But now that a lot of physical, you know, Pokemon are out of the game for this upcoming series, I decided, like, let's put it into the special side, because Pokemon like Rotom, Duraludon, Milotic, all of them are starting to get a lot more usage. So I put 96 Spadef into, I put 96 EVs into a Spadef. The 12 right here for the HP, I put that there so that in an odd situation of dealing with chip damage, we should live with 1 HP. So if you don't know, Hail and Sand does about 1/16 of your health. So if you're ever in a situation where you got stalled out by the weather, I could take 11 turns of that chip damage and still have 1 HP. Now you may be thinking to yourself, like, that's extremely unlikely that they'll just pivot around your Freedom Bird that much. And you're absolutely right. But I actually have matchups where Ferrothorn, you know, be in the sand, and all they could do is Leech Seed and Protect, and, you know, try to cycle that in, maybe go for Iron Defense here and there to try and max bulk themselves up to take care of other things. So there will be moments where you may go 3 or 4 turns with, you know, taking Leech Seed, Sand, or Hail damage and things like that. So I have no problems with this so far. I'm about 80% satisfied with the play I got out of my Braviary. So I feel like if I had to make any tweaks, it would be to the rest of the team more so than just Braviary with the EV spread right now. So yeah, I'm content. Now, we're talking about moments where you may want to go 252, 252, 4. From the offensive side, you have to ask these questions. What are you looking to get out of your Pokemon, and what purpose are they supposed to serve for the team? So for the Dreadnought team that I made, and the video that I did to highlight them with the whole, like, breakdown, I decided, like, hey, Dreadnought's in a weird speed tier, 74, and it has 115 attack, which is really good. So I was like, okay, let's just go for broke. We're going to make it adamant to get as much attack as possible, give it a Life Orb, and with Swift Swim, assuming that we're actually in the rain, we're going to outspeed everything barring a Scarf or a Pokemon that also benefits from Swift Swim. So the idea was, alright, we're going to use our Dreadnought, try to get at least 2 KOs in our 3 turns of being Dynamax, and then that gives us the opportunity to go for something like a Parasong with our Politoed, or just put us in a really good position to just dominate the game. If we're able to get G-Max Stone Surge out, they got Pokemon in the back who may be carrying a Sash or maybe carrying certain items. We could just ruin the whole setup by having them come in and they don't even have full HP anymore. So just little stuff like that. Duraludon, we already talked about this. You know, max HP, special attack, and assault vest. The reason I went the way I did is because comparison sake, this is my Duraludon on the left. This is the standard Duraludon on the right, but on a Life Orb instead of AV. So versus a Life Orb max special attack Duraludon, not only do we take their attack much better than they take ours, we're dishing out more punishment, and I probably should have never set that sentence because that doesn't make sense. Basically, we're doing more damage. We're doing 69 Giggity to 82% damage to a Duraludon. They're doing 62 to 73%. That means, yeah, we're matching up pretty well against a Duraludon. And with the 0 investment we have into our speed, this could determine certain things. If we're able to outspeed them at any point, that means that they have 0 investment into their Duraludon speed. If they outspeed us with that, then hey, it means that they got some speed investment, or maybe they're timid. So those are just little things that we got to keep in mind when it came to my team. But it means that going into the matches, the reason that the spreads I have for the Whimsicott, the Duraludon, or even my Freedom Bird, when I go into the certain matchups that I calc for, it gives me confidence knowing that, hey, I'm going to be able to live this hit, or hey, I'm able to get this one shot, or hey, I'm able to do this much damage. That's the kind of the point of having EV optimization. If your Pokemon can one-shot another Pokemon without needing max special attack or max attack, you can reallocate some of those EVs. Like we showed right here with my Duraludon. We come into close range of knocking out a fellow Kingdra, so we just reallocated our EVs, gave it a Life Orb, things like that. And now I feel more comfortable versus that matchup in the Weather Wars, especially since Rain got a stealth buff from the recent bans. On the defensive side, sometimes you may have people who like, look, I got coverage to deal with fire types, I'm on a rain team, or I got good redirection, and they'll go for max bulk on their Pokemon like the Ferrothorn. Max HP, max defense, and maybe they just want to set up iron defense as much as possible and get as much damage as they possibly can with a body press. So I hope that makes sense. Like I said, if you got any questions, let me know down below. I will answer them. Basically, EV optimization is if you're pretty much doing overkill, you could probably relocate some of your EVs to other areas, or if you're worried about living certain hits, take it to the calc and figure out what you could do. There are good resources out there. Just play and figure out what your real issues are, or go to Pikalytics, as you can see right here. Probably link it down below. It'll tell you like which Pokemon are in the game, how much usage they have, their common partners, their spreads, items they use, etc. You got resources that could tell you like, hey, this is what you should prepare for, because this is most likely the common thing you'll see. So just take that, plug it in, and figure out what you could do. Obviously, you can't plan for every Pokemon ever, because we still got over, 400 Pokemon that could potentially be in VGC, and there's too many resources out there for them to do certain things. So, yeah. Like I said, go out there, have some fun with the EVs, and just experiment, because Series 6 is probably the most unique series we ever had this entire generation. So, yeah. Bye.